Today's guest is college football player Trajan Jeffcoat. He talks about his playing career at the University of Missouri and the University of Arkansas and some lessons he learned on the field. But the most important lesson he learned was in every situation, whether it's on or off the field, to rely in Jesus Christ. We have enjoyed this episode so much, and I hope you enjoy it as well. Welcome to the Rise Above podcast. I'm your host, Will Lambley, and today we have the honor of being joined by Arkansas football player Trajan Jeffcoat. First off, thank you for joining us.
No problem. Glad to be here.
Yes, sir. We were just talking beforehand. This is your fifth year of college football? Fifth year, yes. So does it feel like it's almost like a routine every year now?
Yeah, it feels like a routine at this point. Yeah. It does.
And then now you're playing ball in Fayetteville, but you grew up in Columbia, South Carolina.
Yeah.
Columbia, I got to make sure to say South Carolina. You're used to being in Columbia.
Yeah, Columbia, Missouri. Mm-hmm.
What did it look like for you growing up there?
Columbia, South Carolina. It was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. Just growing up there, like it's not really, I would say, like a lot of things to really do, but I would say like I love and cherish the place that I'm from though. Just meeting a lot of people, just growing up in Southern culture as well. So that's pretty good. The food, family, friends. So, I mean, it's been pretty cool growing up in Columbia, South Carolina. I'm glad to be like a native of South Carolina as well.
That's actually a place I've not went to that I want to go to, South Carolina, because I know you got the mountains and the beach.
Yeah, you got the beach. You got Myrtle Beach. Myrtle Beach. You got Charleston.
Yeah. Can't beat that, yeah. And then... So growing up there, was pretty much everyone a Gamecock fan?
Yeah, everyone a Gamecock fan. I was a big Gamecock fan. Like in the region of Columbia, everybody you meet, just a majority of them, all of them will love the Gamecocks. If you say Clemson in Columbia, you might get crazy.
Still like that now?
Yeah, it's still like that now. Yeah.
So they probably haven't liked Clemson being good the past couple of years?
Nah, they don't like it. Gamecock all day. That's how they feel in Columbia.
What did it look like in your family growing up?
My family growing up, I had my mom, my dad wasn't together, but my dad, he was in my life. Got a younger sister and an older brother. So definitely learned a lot from my older brother. Always being like a mentor towards my younger sister as well. So I would say my family is pretty tight. I would say that.
Yeah, that kind of I have a younger sister too, so you always kind of have to set that example for your sister.
Yeah, gotta set that example for your sister.
Yeah. Especially your sister, because you can't trust any of these guys out here.
You can't.
Yeah, exactly. And then growing up, were you involved in a lot of sports, or was it just football?
It was strictly football.
Oh, seriously? Just football? Okay.
But like around like when I was like 13 or something like that, I was playing basketball. I instantly knew that wasn't for me. I wasn't good at all.
Okay, I was thinking about that the other day because I was looking at like your measurables. I'm like, man, you could have just like dominated some dudes in high school.
Yeah, basketball just wasn't my calling. I see that for sure.
Yeah, and then so what age did you start playing football?
I started playing football around I say 11. I say 11. That's when I started playing. Yeah.
Okay, and then was it like from the time you started playing, you're like, I love this, or it was at first where you're like, I don't know?
At first, I'm gonna be honest, I was like, I don't know if I'm built for this. Yeah. But then, like, it started becoming, like, fun to me. It's, like, instinctive, I would say, in a way. Like, I just innately know what to do, in a way. Yeah. I'll say that. So it became really cool for me, so I just stuck with it.
Yeah, that's cool. That's kind of like a moment where you're like, man, God's really called me to do this, even from a young age.
Yeah, from a young age, yeah, I would say that.
I feel like when things are just like fun in life, then it just creates like a passion that like no one can take away from you.
Yeah, no one can take it away from you.
And were you always kind of like one of the bigger guys in your team, or that kind of come later?
That kind of came later. I was always like kind of tall, but I was like always slim. Like real skinny. So people used to make fun of me how skinny I was, but I was very tall though. I was always tall.
Yeah. And then was there anything else you were involved in growing up much?
It was just really strictly football. I was in church a lot, but other than that, football, I say.
Yeah, and was it like one of your parents that had you in church, or was it someone? Okay.
My mom always had me in church. My dad always keep me like guided on God, lead me in Bible verses as well. Like my family has always been like open arms to me, and they always show me the light of God. So I always walked in His path. I would say.
Yeah, that's so cool. That's so key to have. And I know me growing up at first, I kind of took that for granted. But whenever like hard times came, I'm like, man, that's so important.
Yeah.
'Cause that's like the one truth.
Yeah, that's the truth.
And then as you were going into high school, it was the high school you went to in Columbia.
Yeah.
Did you just go there and were you still like just tall and skinny or?
Yeah, I was tall and skinny. The crazy is once I came like ninth grade, I was kind of questioning, do I actually like want to play football? And I was just like, I don't know if I really want to do it. But then it just started becoming like fun. And I would say I built an identity in football. That's what really made me like stick to it in a way.
Okay. Just finding that, making it fun pretty much.
Yeah, making it fun. Yeah.
I think that's where a lot of kids like stop playing football is they don't realize like even like at those practices or like the games like growing up, they think, oh, I'm going to have to run or I'm going to have to go through a tough workout. I think when kids just start realizing, okay, this can be fun because like moments like this with your teammates, especially like in high school, like you do not get back. Yeah. And it's just special time.
Yeah, special time. Definitely special time.
And then going throughout high school, were you recruited from a young age or that kind of come later?
That kind of came later. I remember my first offer I got was from East Carolina. That was the end of my junior year. And more offers start rolling in during my senior year. So I say like a late bloomer in a way in high school.
That probably made you appreciate the offers more, I'm sure, too.
It made me very appreciative of my offers, yeah.
Because I'm sure in the Columbia area, just being a big area, I'm sure there's a lot of really good players in the area.
Yeah, it was really good players from South Carolina. Yeah, definitely.
And then when did you figure out like the school you ended up going to is the school you wanted to go to?
Yeah, so honestly, it was Coach Odom and Coach Burke Haley that really made me commit, I would say, because it was just their spirit. You know what I'm saying? They believed in me. And I can tell they was authentic with it. It wasn't just a business. I felt like they really cared about me, and I just felt like I was at home. So that's definitely why I say I committed at the University of Missouri. Yeah.
And isn't that like really far from Columbia, South Carolina?
Yeah, that's
like
about,
over 800 miles.
Yeah, that's about a 12-hour drive, probably 13. Yeah.
So you like the drive?
In a way.
Okay.
It was kind of boring, but yeah, it was cool though.
Yeah. During that drive, are you just like listen to music, or you just like chilling?
I listen to music a little bit, and I listen to podcasts.
Okay. Yeah. Podcasts became like really popular recently.
Yeah.
And then once you started school at Missouri, was there some challenges when you first started there?
It was definitely some challenges when I first started there, because I was like, when I came in, just seeing the structure of classes, workouts, I had to learn how to balance all of those. And it was kind of, at the beginning, it was kind of like hard to me, because I was like, dang, I never had this much stuff to do during the day. So I just really like prayed and asked God to guide me, because when I first got there, I was like, I don't know if I can do this, but I was like, you can't give up. You got to keep going. So that mindset just helped me push through.
Yeah, and it's crazy, like, when you go to God, like, how much more strength, like, He'll give you. Yeah. There's a verse I love in Ephesians 3, verse 20, which says, we can do immeasurably more through Him inside us than we could ever do by ourselves. And just going to Him, and I'm sure that was a time, like, I'm sure there's been many times, but I'm sure that was a time, like, you were really able to grow, especially being so far away from home and trying to manage classes at school. And I'm sure workouts were a lot harder than anything you've been through. Do you have any stories from when you first got to Missouri about workouts?
Oh, yeah. I remember we had to build. I remember our weightlifting coach's name is Coach Kutch.
Okay.
So we had to wake up at like 5:30. All of us had on all white.
Was this the whole team or just freshmen?
Just freshmen.
Just freshmen. Yeah, it's a little freshman initiation.
Yeah. So we had on all white. So we came in, and he wanted it silent as soon as we walked in the indoor, because it was very cold at the time. So when we walked in the indoor, he was like, call it up. So we did the Mizzou Jacks. But if anybody messed it up, we had to start all over.
So you had to do like jumping jacks in unison?
Yeah, jumping jacks in unison. No one had to be
it's
off.
Like military.
Yeah. So once we get past that, we stretched, did everything. Then we got straight into the workout. I remember we had prowlers. I will never, ever forget this. I never forget this. I remember we had I think we had 10 prowlers to do, and we had to push it to the 25. If I'm not mistaken, we had to push it to the 25. We had 10 reps. I remember pushing it, and I think I was on the 8th rep. And I was like, I don't think I can do this. Like, my leg was shaking. I looked to my right, looked to my left. I see my boys laying down. I see my boy throwing up. I said, oh, man. I said, I got to push through. So I got past the 8th rep. And I remember on the 9th rep, I said, I don't think I got no more in me. But then I just started thinking about, just being appreciative how God, blessed me to get to Mizzou. Not a lot of people get that opportunity to go to college on full scholarship. So I was like, let me be appreciative. Let me take full advantage of this moment. So that really helped me. The strength of God helped me. If I don't pray to God, I feel like I don't really have strength at all. Yeah. So, that definitely helped me through that time. But that was kind of a traumatic time, I would say.
Yeah. Those workouts make you feel some kind of way.
Yeah.
And, that's cool to see just how, relying on God can, truly take you to points that you never thought you would be at, and how God can work through you. And I think it really exudes a joy that we didn't even know we could have, and that is just so contagious with others too. Yeah. And going throughout your time at Missouri, were you on the field right as a freshman, or did that kind of come later?
I was on the field a couple games, but I really wasn't playing a lot. But I'd say I was playing enough as a freshman. Okay. So, I'm very appreciative of that.
Was there a welcome to the SEC moment for you?
Definitely. Definitely. I remember we played Alabama. I will never forget this. We played Alabama my freshman year.
Well, who was Alabama's quarterback at this time? Was it? Is it
was a swap between Jalen Hurts and Tua.
Okay, so it was that year. Okay, yeah.
So I'll never forget. I remember this big old lineman. I forgot his name, but I know he went first round to the Browns. I'm talking about it was third down or second down. I remember he grabbed me.
Oh boy.
And then he just threw me down. And then he laid on me. I said, oh my God. I said, all these people gonna see this back at home. I hope my mama ain't see this. I hope she don't think I'm a wimp or something. So I was like, oh man, I gotta get right. And that was the welcome to the SEC moment for real. I woke up, I was like, I really got pancaked bad yesterday. I was like, dang, I gotta keep on pushing. For sure.
Yeah. The good thing in that moment is you could realize there's no one I'm going to play better than this dude. So I'm sure whenever you play against school like Vandy, you're like, okay, thank you, Jesus. But then going into that next year at Missouri, was that year that you started to play a little more, or just feel more comfortable there?
Yeah, my sophomore year, that's when I had a great season. I was first team all SEC, so I definitely remember that season. It was just, I don't know, it was just something about that season. I just felt like God just allowed me to have it. Everything fell in my lap that year, everything.
And who was the coach at this point?
It was Coach Drink. That was his first year. Okay, first year there. Yeah.
So did you like him when he came in? And was it a lot different than Coach Odom?
Yeah, he was a lot different than Coach Odom, but he was pretty cool though.
Yeah. It's cool how so many coaches are so different, but everyone has something different that makes them work, or helps connect to players better, or worse, whatever. Some players, it just kind of depends on the player, I guess. Yeah. But yeah. And then would you say, did you start to develop more of a leadership role your second year?
Yeah, I say that. I was always the type of leader that I'm not really a vocal person. Yeah. I don't really talking too much. I just showing what I can do, just leading by my actions. So that's definitely a good thing, because I'm sure no one likes that leader that's rah, but not right back. You're I just want to pancake this dude. And then were you playing defense end both these years? Yeah, I played buck, a stand-up end, a 3-4 package. So I was really the stand-up, a linebacker type. Hybrid.
Okay. And then did they have you gaining a lot of weight when you came in, or?
Yeah, I definitely gained a lot of weight. I came in at freshman year 230, and I went all the way up to 265. Okay. Yeah, so I definitely gained a lot.
But was that hard to get used to that weight at first, or?
No. Honestly, I just felt my body was just naturally capable of gaining that weight. I'll say so. I feel like that was a real true weight for me.
Yeah, and you already have the height too, so that works good. Yeah. So it kind of just flows into it, so that works good. Yeah. And then being at Missouri, was there some people that kind of helped you when you first got there, like just get acclimated to everything?
Yeah, definitely. It was a lot of people. I remember my coach, Coach Haley, he was definitely somebody that was really like on me and always like leading me in the right way. He was hard at times, but he was also like very encouraging. So he had a perfect balance of them all. And Coach Odom as well. They both had like a perfect balance of getting on you when you do something wrong, but also like praising you when you do something right. So it was that cool thing there. So I remember my boy Darius Robinson. He's currently still at Mizzou. Yeah, he definitely was a motivating factor to me as well. Trey Williams, Markel Utsey.
They both played Arkansas.
Yeah, I can name a whole list of people.
I used to have these white glasses, and Trey Williams was coming up to me after every practice asking me to give them to him. I'm like, dude, I just got these.
It was a whole list of guys that I can't even name because there's a bunch of them. But it's definitely a lot of people that played a role in me getting better as a player. Like looking up to Chris Turner, like all of these guys, Terry Begner, like all of those guys. Like Kobe Whiteside, I just learned how to just learn from them and just keep striving.
Yeah, it's definitely important just to have those people around us, because just like push us and for encouragement, because there will be like tough days in this life. And kind of after those first 2 years, did you have 2 more years at Missouri? Yeah. And then what did those 2 years look like?
It was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. It was I just was trying to learn like different styles of defense, just getting acclimated in those. But overall it was pretty fun. It was pretty fun.
And how would you kind of describe like your game as a defensive end to people listening?
I would say I'm physical. I make some good plays.
Yeah.
I get like rowdy a lot.
Now you're ready to throw offensive linemen around like.
Yeah, I get like real rowdy. Try to play fast a lot. Try to play with finesse. I try to like mix it up. But I'll definitely say I'm a physical player at most though.
Okay. Yeah. And then after your time at Missouri, did you like know you're going to be in the portal like right after that?
No, not really. But I just prayed about it. Just made up my mind. I just was like, it's time for something new.
Yeah. Yeah. What would that process look like?
That process was walking by faith, not by sight, for real. Like,
2 Corinthians like 5:7. Yeah, for real.
It was.
Those can be some hard times for sure.
Some hard times because you really going into a situation where you don't really know the outcome. You really got to have faith in God, for real. So I was just like, I just found myself just like thinking like, dang, where I'm going to wind up. But then I was like, nah, I ain't going to think like that, because I just know from like previous situations in my life, like faith, I learned that for me, my understanding, like faith is like a representation of God. Like just believing in something you can't see, like that's just God right there. He can move things for you, like literally. So I leaned on that, and then God blessed me in Arkansas, so I'm real blessed.
Yep. And then what kind of led to you like getting into the portal?
I just wanted like new scenery. I would say I wanted like a new start, new scenery, being in a different place.
Yeah, that makes sense, especially for like a last year. And then and I know when you got to Arkansas, like times were kind of challenging at first. Can you kind of share with us like kind of like your testimony behind that?
Yeah, like when I first came in, I was like, dang. I was still going through like times with like the SEC basically like approving me and everything, because it was SEC to SEC.
So I think that's actually when I met you. Actually, then do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember.
Okay, I was like, because I remember I met you. Then I'm like, I don't know who I was just talking, because I don't know who I'm talking to. Then Neil said, "Oh, that's this guy from Missouri."
Yeah.
Okay, I remember that now.
So once I went through that, I just learned, like, I was like, dang, like things can really change in less than a month for you. Like you hop in the portal, you're in a whole different place, around like different people. So you're building like new relationships. You have an opportunity to meet a lot of new people. So I just feel like God does everything for a reason. And through all of this, like I just felt like God just like with open arms, like opened me in the University of Arkansas, I would say, just like the way it just happened. Like I would say, because I'm like, dang, like, this really changed like fast, and it was kind of like overwhelming to me in a way. I was like, I mean, God want me here. So once I was granted eligibility, at Arkansas, shoot, I just went from there. And just thank all the coaches and just thank God first and foremost. And the rest is history.
And then how long did you have to wait to be granted eligibility?
It wasn't that long. I don't think I had to wait that long, but I think it was like 3.5 months, I think.
Okay.
Probably. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So during that time, were you still able to like go to workouts and stuff?
No, I wasn't working out at that time. But I was working out on my own, but I wasn't like working out with the team. But yeah, I was working out on my own, just getting ready for that moment.
Okay. And then I'm sure, were you still able to build like relationships with the guys on the team?
Yeah. I still like talk to them like once everything over for them. Like I come holler at them, talk to them, and stuff like that. Just keep them encouraged, and they keep me encouraged and will. So yeah.
Who were some of the guys you were able to get like close with during that time?
Oh, a bunch of people. Cam Ball, Landon Jackson, John Morgan. I got close to Rocket Sanders, KJ, Antonio Greer, Eric Gregory, Torian Carter, a lot of other people. Yeah, I got close with a lot of guys.
Yeah, a lot of like real good leaders on the team. Yeah. And then once you were granted eligibility, like what's some of the first things like that you were thinking?
I was thinking like, man, God really made a way.
Yeah.
Story wasn't over. So I just always like thank God for that, because sometimes things would look so like unsure, but God got a very fascinating way, very clever way of making things like work. Like you will never see it coming in a way. Like it'd just be clever on time. It'd just be like perfect timing, I would say. So yeah, that's like going back to what I said about faith. I just feel like God can make anything move, like anything. So
there's a verse, I forget the exact verse, but it says faith the size of a mustard seed can move a mountain. Like you said, he'll make anything move. Mm-hmm. And I think when we go through those trials, and I think what you went through is a great example for people. Obviously, most people aren't going to face the adversity you face, but someone's faced something where they've been waiting on a situation to get better, and it seems like it never will. Mm-hmm. But when you go to God, maybe that situation doesn't get better, but what will happen is you'll have a perspective and you'll see God move in a way you didn't think he could. Mm. And I think that's a great example of just like when being patient, like in affliction. Mm. And was your patience tested during that time?
Oh, definitely patience. My patience was tested. Like I feel like God sometimes like really tests you. Like he know, like when it's infinite wisdom, like he know, all right, I'm gonna get him out of this situation. He gonna be good, but I'm gonna act like he ain't gonna be good. I'm gonna see how he act. So I just feel like he was doing that. And I remember I was going to pray. I was like, God, like what's going on, God? And I was like, I gotta keep the faith. Like it was in my head, like keep the faith. I was like, God, I'm human. I got emotions, but God, please make a way for me. Deliver me according to your purpose. And then like I went through that period of just waiting in patience. Yep. And then God made a way. He'll move for you. And it'll seem like time is closing down, but it's not. Like, it's not for God. Like he already got a way for you. In your head, you like, oh, time running out. Like, what I'm gonna do? This and third. Like a blink of an eye, God changed it for you. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I thank God for that.
Even when we don't see it, he's always working. And what month was it when you got granted eligibility?
It was a lot going on at that time. I don't even remember what month it was, but I don't remember what month it was. Yeah, that's how much was going on.
Yeah, all good. Yeah, but now like leading up to like then everything at Arkansas, was it just you at Arkansas? Or do you have some of your family up here with you?
Oh yeah, I have my fiance and my baby boy up here.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah,
nice.
So yeah, they definitely with me. So I just love just sharing like memories with them, just living life with them. It's just like God's blessing just to be a head of a family. Also having a son that's looking up to you, having a fiance that love you with you every step of the way. So definitely a blessing.
Yeah, and how old's your son?
Right now he's about to be 21 months this month, but he's currently 20 months. So
And has he been able to come to some games?
Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yes. Yeah, he's been to some games.
Nice. Mm-hmm. That's awesome. Just him be able to watch you.
Yeah.
He'll be able to watch you like growing up, and then I'm I'm not gonna jinx you or anything about after this year too. He's gonna be able to watch you.
Yeah.
But going into this season, Arkansas, what were like some expectations you have for yourself that were expectations like different than everything you had in Missouri, or was it kind of like the same?
I just wanted to basically like just show my physicality, show that I can make plays, and just show that like I'm a good player that's trying to get better and better every day. So just showcase what I'm capable of doing. Just be there for my teammates. Do everything I can for them. So it was a lot of going through my head like before the season, but like I really try not to like think about me as much. I try to think about like everyone else, like my son, my fiance, my grandmother, my extended family.
Yeah.
I just think about them like really motivate me to do what I wanted, like what I'm destined to do.
So yeah, would you say it's kind of your why?
Yeah,
every
my
day?
why.
Yeah,
My why. Mm.
Yeah, and that's cool to have them like right here.
Mm-hmm.
So like
Yeah.
you get to see them pretty much every day,
Yeah.
and just like when days are tough, you can like look at them and be like, man, I'm gonna keep going.
Yeah, I got to keep going.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's awesome. And then at Arkansas, has there been some people that have really like helped you like in your faith walk, or just like help you grow in general?
Oh, definitely. Cortez McCray.
Okay.
He definitely head of the FCA. Yeah, he definitely helped me on my journey with faith as well. So yeah, I give special thanks to Cortez. Yeah.
So, and then did you get plugged in like the FCA like as soon as you got here, or?
Yeah, honestly, yeah.
Okay.
So when I first met with Cortez, I remember we was talking. Then he told me it was like a ceremony going on that we can like share our story. So I was definitely ecstatic about that. So yeah, I got deep in, and I spoke at the FCA event, and it was pretty cool. So yeah, I say I got right in. Yeah,
That's awesome. And was that like your first time speaking at like an event?
No, but I was still a little nervous. But yeah, that was probably like my third time speaking at an event.
Okay.
But yeah, it was cool though.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then, what are some ways you like seen your faith grow at Arkansas?
I see my faith grow by just not really looking at things how they look now, just knowing that God has a plan for you in the future. Like I'm a firm believer, like everything that happened to you is meant to happen, and God like makes a way throughout all of that. So I just feel like He's just the Alpha and the Omega. Like He's greater than everything that we can even imagine, anything that we can fathom. So just growing my faith and just like believing in Him. Like no matter how, I know humans make mistakes. Like I make mistakes. Sometimes mentally I'll be thinking about so much other things and I don't really be focused like I'm supposed to be focused. But I just feel like throughout all of that, God still has a plan for you. So I just stick to that, and that helps my faith grow.
Yeah, that reminds me of one of my favorite verses. Romans 8:28 says, "All things work for the glory of God." And so, no matter what it is, like there's always a purpose behind whatever we're facing, and we'll realize that when we go to Christ in every situation. And that's something that has played a big part of my life too. And then something that I like that I've heard that the defensive room does is, and tell me if I'm right, is it before every meeting you guys have someone pray?
Yeah, before everyone
Okay.
we have someone to pray.
That's really cool, and just kind of like put your perspective in like the right place before like practice or a game.
Yeah, definitely for the game. Like coach, we get in a circle, we just pray, and we just pray for the safety of everyone. We just pray that everything we worked hard for, we can get in God's plan. And we just pray for basically safety and just to cherish the moment.
You know, when I heard that, I thought that was really cool, especially like at a public university, because I think a lot of people think, oh, I can't talk about my faith at a public university or whatever it is, but like, man, God is everywhere, and like you never know how God can move through us whenever we're obedient and following Him. And have you saw some ways that's been able to help you with was it Coach T-Will that does that?
Yeah, Coach T-Will
started that. Yeah,
Coach T-Will does that.
Yeah.
Coach Deke does that during games. So yeah, that really like ignites me because like
it's cool having that leadership.
Yeah, it's just cool having that leadership and just hearing somebody that's sharing their faith with God, just praying with us and just like praying for us. Like I just feel like that just makes me feel like really good, and it makes a lot of my friends and my brothers feel good too. So that definitely is like a good start before practice and a good start before we lay our bed. I mean, we go to bed and lay our head down and then wake up in the morning, have a prayer before the game. So that's definitely great. That's
Yeah,
definitely great.
exactly. I think that's important because, like, in life, like, there might be seasons where we're winning and there might be seasons where we're losing. But one thing that we can always do is make the choice to follow God and to talk to Him, and like that always gives us perspective, no matter the season we're in. And it kind of leads into our next question, being called the Rise Above podcast. Kind of the mantra behind that has been everyone has influence. What are you doing with yours? And what have been some ways in your life that have helped you like rise above different storms you face?
Definitely. I remember I went through like a lot of adversity like in my life. I remember it was a point like I felt like I lost everything. And one thing I would say, like, God is a big fan of justice, I would say. He's a big fan of justice. So just know that when you feel like you've been done wrong, I promise you God sees everything. And God has a very, very clever way of putting you back where you belong and where He has called you to be. So I would just really say, like, through my testimony and through, like, my life, I just learned that God is really in control of everything. Like, everything. Like, God can make anything happen. Like, He can seem like He's slowing down a situation just to put you back in a situation. You know what I'm saying? So
exactly.
it's just keep the faith. I know, like, sometimes it can get hard. I know all humans have emotions. Like, I had emotions through mine. I remember I was going into prayer. I was like, God, I'm crying to God. I'm like, God, what you gonna do? Like, you're the only person that can help me. Like, I just go in prayer crying, but God hears all of your prayers. God sees all of your tears. And I promise you, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. So I would definitely say that.
Yeah, that's crucial. And those can be some hard prayers sometimes whenever dealing with those trials, because I remember even when I started losing my sight too, just like so many nights just going to bed like crying, thinking like, God, this is never how I imagined my life going. But it's crazy looking back because that's probably the time I grew the most in my faith. And looking back, I'm like actually thankful for that time, which I never would have thought I would be. But during that time, can you see ways like it's been able to help you today, like just like with gratitude? And
Yeah, gratitude, definitely. I feel like the adversity that I went through, I feel like God really wanted that to happen. Because I feel like when you pray to ask God to make you into the man or the woman that He wants you to be, when you ask that, you got to be real careful because He going to really put you through situations that's going to really like mold you into the person He wants you to be. I mean, you asked it, so you receive it in His will, in His way. So definitely just like allowing God to like mold me into the man that He wants me to be. Like, I just see it in my life, just like everything.
that's awesome. And kind of finish off with the last question. There's going to be someone listening to this podcast today that just feels stuck in life, like they can't rise above due to whatever circumstances they're facing or they think have caused, so they can't go to where they want to go. What's a message you'd have for them to help them keep going?
I would definitely say this. Everyone goes through problems. Everyone has emotions. We are human. I would definitely say go to God in truth. Go to God in truth. Like, pray to Him and tell Him, like, the way you feel. God hear you. Like, a lot of people think that you just pray and God don't hear you. God hears everybody's prayers. But just, like, be truthful with Him. Be like, God, I'm sad about this. I'm sad about that. But, God, I believe that you're going to get me out. I feel like God, like, really, like, loves when you just, like, give Him thanks through hardships. Like, that's something that really moves God, I would say. Like, just going through hell and back, but you still praising Him. Like, that's just big. I just feel like that's like a real crucial factor in just going through something. Just keep praising God. God gonna get you out, and just believe that God gonna get you out. Don't just say it.
Yep.
And just just be truthful with God. Just be honest with Him, man. God know we have emotions. God know it hurt. Like, you can't really hide your pain, but just go to God with your pain, and He'll direct your steps, and He'll deliver you according to His purpose.
Yeah, that's so important to just be truthful with God, because I think even as men, we're like taught to like kind of like hide our emotions sometimes, but like with God, like He knows how we feel better than anyone. So just being truthful, and I love what you said about even when we're going through hell and back, like go to Christ and praise Him in that time, because there's so much we can be thankful for, no matter what we're facing. Because like Christ will always provide our life. And I love how in the Bible there's so many verses about like how we can have joy in adversity, which makes no sense. But something someone shared with me the other day was when Christ endured the cross, like He had joy. And I was thinking about that. I was like, how could He have joy? But He had joy because He cared that much about all of us. And that kind of just like put things into perspective a little bit for me. I was like, wow, like what do I have to complain about whatever I'm facing on this earth? And kind of a verse that it all comes back to for me is James 1, verses 2 through 4, which says, consider it pure joy when you face adversity of any kind, because the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Let perseverance finish its race so that you may be complete and lacking nothing. And Trajan, we can't thank you enough for being on with us today. I know so many people that listen to this are going to be impacted in such a positive way. And the biggest thing I've taken away from this is when you go to Christ in whatever situation you're facing, you don't just have to go through adversity, but when you go through adversity and you go to Christ, you'll grow through adversity. And thank you guys for listening today, and know that you can tune into the Rise Above podcast on any platform you listen to podcasts on or on social media. And know that no matter the storm you face, you can always rise above the storm. Can't wait to catch you guys next week.